The drums hit, the crowd erupts. From WWE to AEW, from NWA to TNA, all the way to New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is where legends rise. Aaron loves wrestling. Let's begin. Let the storm hit, feel the world shift. AEW, yo, we talking big lift. To the NWA roots, the Empire in the booth. New Japan warriors fighting for the truth. Crowds roar loud when the spotlight shines. Aaron loves wrestling, we live for the grind. Step into the ring, hear the heartbeat thump. Pyro in the sky, let the bass line jump. From the classic days where the legends were made to the modern era warriors never afraid. We break down drama, every shock, every twist, every dream match moment that you couldn't resist. From Tokyo Dome nights to the big raw stage, from Powerrr Studios to AEW Rage. This is passion, combat, the soul of the show. We bring the breakdown, the hype and the glow. Every slam, every dive, every storyline ride. I'll let you where the love never dies.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Aaron Loves Wrestling Podcast, and I am Dr. Love, A.A. Ron, and I am here with a special guest of mine. He is the NWA World Television Champion, Bryan Idol.
Howdy, Brian. What's up,
How is it going? I appreciate you giving me your time. And
I am currently in downtown St. Petersburg. I was on a location scout for the NWA as we come to town next week for Saturday, December 13th for our Roku tapings. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
That is really cool. I've really loved NWA and been watching for definitely a lot more this year. I watched when it first kicked off in 19. It kind of fell off a little bit and got back into it a lot more this year, and was off and on. But I do love the NWA. I love the territories aspect that they have brought back.
Great. Thanks, man.
It is really cool because I love the history of NWA. I love going back, and I was just rewatching some history of it today because looking back, I think to me that's the golden era of wrestling. I love the cross promotions. I love everybody working together. There was this one, NWA World Champion, 10 pounds of gold, and all the promotions, world champions went to face that world champion, for that belt. I thought that was really cool, and to see y'all bring it back, that's awesome. And I love the ring. To me, the NWA Powerrr ring is the best looking ring in professional wrestling. I love red, white, blue. I miss red, white, and blue ropes. I always loved it. Every time I go back and look at old tapings, I know, and I love it. But I also love all the other promotions, the Dog Pound Wrestling.
Man, we got a bunch. We got a bunch of territories there, man. Always building more. Kind of slowed the addition of territories due to the fact of the whole Roku deal and all the onboarding process of all that, and a lot of the changes we've made in the program in Powerrr, which I think people have seen. It's a very evolving format, and so it's taking a lot of energy. But yeah, we'll be having some new territories soon, and like you said, we got a bunch of great ones.
Really? Oh, that's cool. And you run the Chicago one.
Yep, NWA Chicago this Friday, man. We got it over in Highland Park at Studio One, 7 o'clock. So it'll be a good show. We got people like me, Carson Drake, Natalia Markova, Daisy Kill, and a few others. So it's definitely going to be a good show.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to Natalia becoming the new NWA Women's World Champion. That was awesome to see. Their match, her and Kenzie, was a great match. I enjoyed that match, so it was great to see her. I didn't see it coming though. I was like, she's been on a 2-year title reign. Is it going to happen?
Yeah, it's about time though.
Yeah. So let's see Natalia go for a 2 or 3 year title reign. Let's do that.
You never know. Could be.
You never know. But about you,
sure.
For those who don't know Bryan Idol, I mean, you've been wrestling for a long time.
A very long time.
Very long time. And
yeah, man.
I wanted you to tell the viewers, about you, and you do music too. You do your own theme, which
I do it
yesterday.
I know. I appreciate you like my song. I did. I thought it would be fun to write and produce and record my own song and sing it, and I did. I thought it came out pretty good, and I mean, it's very tongue in cheek for me anyway. It's not the exact musical capability or genre that I would do, and I would say like I did it very quickly and whatever, and I had a certain style in mind, and so I thought it would be fun to do, and I thought it would be kind of a throwback to some of the vintage style wrestling entrances, and so it was a good time, and I happened to get in the studio with my brother, and we cranked it out. It was a couple of years ago or whatever, but yeah, it was good to finally when I got to do Bryan Idol and NWA, and I got to have my theme music ready because at that point I think I had just made it or recently made it, and I hadn't gotten it much airplay. So it's fun. It's fun that it's out there. So and like I said, you asked, I've been wrestling a long time, man. I've been in a lot of promotions. Some of the bigger ones over the years were like Revolve and the run that they had at the beginning of their relationship with WWE and I mean, a million indies in between, cool ones like House of Glory and even did some stuff with the Juggalos back in the day. And, even for the real old school indie fans, Jersey All Pro and places like that. So, I mean, the list is endless. And I've wrestled like a gazillion wrestlers that everybody knows. And, it's one of those dudes been doing this thing a long time, man. And, very happy though. And I feel very refreshed and very, excited about being in the NWA and the things that it offers and the reach that we have nationwide and even worldwide. And the fact that it's a legitimate production and it's, I always say like, we have 20 wrestlers at the NWA that could be top 20 anywhere. So, to be a part of that is amazing. So, it's all these years of my career has brought me to here, and I'm very happy with that.
That's awesome. Yeah. There's a few wrestlers, I love watching NWA. You one of them, Thrill Billy. I do love watching Mike Mundo. He's really cool. Gut Check Time. I love that. So he's they got great, and I love some of the tag teams they got. It kind of give an old school vibe. So I really do appreciate and love NWA and that's around and what they do. Sweet. And the ring. And talking about the title, your NWA World Television title, it has a long lineage of history right there.
Sure.
What does it mean to be the NWA World Television Champion?
It's pretty awesome, man. I mean, I'll be honest with you, like when someone says the NWA and when I was joining the NWA, if somebody said like, what are some of your goals? There's two belts that I'd really like to win. One was the television championship, and the other one is the 10 pounds of gold. So I got one out of the two so far. So I'm pretty pumped about that. I mean, I've had a couple matches for the 10 pounds of gold before, but obviously didn't win the 10 pounds of gold. So you never know, though. Not yet. So, I mean, but yeah, being the champ to me is cool because it's a legendary title and there were some very fantastic wrestlers that held it. But aside from that, the title itself is so recognizable to fans, and to be a representative of that and to be the basically the ambassador of that belt at this point in time, I think it means a lot, and I think it says a lot. And I think you have to be a certain type of individual, and you have to be conscious of the, it's funny I bring it into this, but you have to be conscious of the legacy of it. And I'm very respectful and conscious of that. And I know the value of it and I don't take it for granted. And it's like I said, some people will be like, what are you talking about? It's just a wrestling title. But I'm saying in the history of wrestling belts, if you were like, where does that one stack up? I mean, it's arguably easily in the top 10 of any promotion ever. So I'm saying you can even argue top 5. And so, like I said, saying that and then having, this being at the forefront. I mean, I won it for the debut for the Roku show, which is to date the biggest deal the Billy Corgan version of the NWA's ever had. And so we have a huge exposure on Roku. And, I know some of the haters like to say, oh, it's not TV. It's TV, bro. Monday Night Raw is on Netflix. That's TV. Roku's TV. When you have the potential to have 82 to 86 million viewers a day watching it, that's certainly TV. Not saying that many people watch it, but we do some really solid numbers. And there is, I mean, it's evident from the amount of messages I get and everything else. People watch, and it's like I said, to be an ambassador of that and to be at the forefront of it at the time when obviously we got to be coming in at the hottest and making the most noise, and we're doing that. So I'm proud to be a part of that.
Yeah, Roku channel, like there's some good stuff. That's how my son watches his monster truck. So there's a lot, there's a lot of good stuff on Roku channel, and I'm glad it's on Roku channel because I was watching those on YouTube, and then I wasn't seeing on YouTube, I guess, for a while.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
glad it's on
YouTube,
Roku
we
channel.
don't run. So YouTube, we just run certain things. There's no weekly run on YouTube. It's very random. Our programming is based on Roku, and
Mhm.
Power is its own thing on Roku. You can search it on demand. Then we have the Wrestling Central channel, which streams old episodes of Power. And when I say old, we're talking within the last 7 years. So it's the only way to see the current NWA product up to date is to go on Roku, type in NWA Power. You can watch it on demand or watch it Tuesday nights as it premieres at 8 o'clock and again at 11 o'clock. And that's the confusion. I think some people still don't realize. They're saying, like, oh, I didn't see this, or I saw it on YouTube, and it's like, yeah, there's no real method to what we're doing on YouTube. We're just showcasing certain things or showing other things that didn't get a chance to be seen. So I wouldn't even say necessarily it's all our best stuff on YouTube, because it's not. A lot of it's very random. So
Yeah, but you got on Roku. I was watching some previous episodes there today. You got some good episodes on there,
hey
and more to
man,
come.
sounds corny, but Roku's free and there's tons of other good stuff on there. And one thing that cracks me up is I never really watched the original Munsters, and it came up in my suggestion on Roku, and I started watching it and was totally thrilled. Like, now I know it was a good show, but like totally impressed with what that show really is about. And then the fact that they had an episode where Herman Munster was a pro wrestler, and that's incredible. And I don't think that gets enough publicity, because I never knew Herman Munster did an episode of the original Munsters where he was a pro wrestler. So that's really cool.
Right.
What a
Yep.
surprise that was.
Yeah, there's some classic westerns on there that
That's what I'm saying. There's all kinds of cool stuff,
there's
man.
all
It's
kinds
free.
of
It's
stuff.
like, who wouldn't want to have that on their TV? Like, once I discovered it, I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. So
They even have an NBA section where they'll throw classic games up there. So
yeah,
I was
tons of
watching.
sports. That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah, it's
sick,
like
man.
awesome.
Roku's actually really cool.
And there's a wrestling. Is it Wrestling Central that's on there? I think.
Yeah, that's where we
Yeah, it's
run the old
got
episodes of Power, and then One
yeah.
Move Wrestling we share with. It's like 80% us, 20% them.
So it's got a lot of good stuff on the Roku channel, and also with NWA being on there, I love it. And who knows where this can take NWA? I mean, you might start with Roku.
Absolutely.
You might go to who knows.
I mean, to be
Netflix.
honest, dude, Roku's as big as it gets, really, anyway. So if we stay there forever, that's great. I mean, there's
Yeah,
no
right.
downside. Like I said, what some haters try to downplay is stupidity, because there's the sky is the limit on that channel. So all good with us.
Right, and I love it on there because it is free, and
Yep.
I can easily access it on my phone, tablet, my
Yep.
TV.
It's like a commercial now, turning it into a commercial. So yeah, no, we get it, man. It's all good, man.
So I love it. I love NWA's on there. And speaking of the legacy of NWA, I mean, you got of the TV championship. You brought up many legendary wrestlers. Yeah, there's Terry Funk. You
Right.
got Abdul the Butcher, Kevin Sullivan. So many other legends have held that title, and now you
Ric
are
Flair, Dusty Rhodes,
Flair.
Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard. Everybody's had it.
Man, so many legends, and
Some
I
great
love the
motivators.
NWA titles. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the NWA titles. They look great to me. To me, they're the best looking titles in the history of professional wrestling, from old school to what y'all got now. Because I love those titles. It's not too flashy. It's just a wrestling belt. I mean, that's what it is. And I just love it. Especially 10 pounds of gold. That's always been my favorite world heavyweight championship in history of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
I do love the big gold, but the 10 pounds of gold, I love that one. It just looks great to me. Some classic throwbacks to it. So I really love it. So, but speaking of these title belts, I've seen you talked about it quite a bit, but there's another national title out there that someone had created and brought on their show. And, it looks good, but it's not the NWA Nationals, the heavyweight championship.
Look, here's the deal, man. Everybody thought I was crazy, on the world's most toxic app known as X when I first brought it up.
is.
Like, everybody thought I was crying about nothing. Like, don't you think I knew what the belt was going to look like? And don't you think I know what it's based on? And then beyond that, AEW very clearly mentioned NWA and NWA wrestlers. They didn't just say Georgia Championship Wrestling. They said NWA wrestlers, blah, 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 blah. Had it in the press release and everything. So, yeah, I thought it was a bit of clout chasing, and it's lame. It's like trying to claim, you're making a belt, you're trying to claim somebody else's legacy. And I called it out. And I think, maybe in the first couple of days, everybody thought I was a crybaby, but then it all came out in the wash. And it's like, oh, actually, yeah, they're actually out of their mind and they're trying to link this title to that title. And that's lame. And then, oh, lo and behold, it looks just like the old national title and or the TV title. And, I knew that because by who was making the belt. And I know that that was the plan because I'm a wrestler and things get around in wrestling. And yeah, I think it's offensive, and I think it's not a nod or a nudge to, or something, a tribute. It's not. It's cloud chasing a thing. Now, when Tony Khan backpedals and says, "Well, it's an AEW title and it's a brand new title and whatever." Okay, fine. No one, you know what? Even if it looks like that title, that's lame enough. But if that was the case, you wouldn't have mentioned all those things about NWA. You wouldn't have named NWA wrestlers. You wouldn't have done it. You did it because that's why. And if you're saying it reminds you of that, it's the same thing. You're still trying to you're trying to glom onto the credit of something else. And it would be different if there was no NWA, but we're here. And you're saying, okay, and that's why, like, okay, how does it affect? Well, it's a national championship. Okay, nobody's saying the word national championship is NWA only. There could be 55 intercontinental titles in every federation. Believe me, I'm a guy who would never care, never say anything. But if you were literally making it look like the WWE intercontinental title and you were like, it's a throwback to the Ultimate Warrior and Shawn Michaels, and you'd be like, okay, well, you're stealing the title. And notice they wouldn't do that with a company like that. It's just the underspoken tone is it's a way of saying, like, hey man, you guys are crap and we're gonna take a dump on you and we're gonna take your belt and make it bigger than you are. And it's like, wow, it's not real. And, I saw a clip yesterday, Arn Anderson made a good point. And he said, the belt doesn't make the man. It's the other way around. And I think it's important for me to say out loud. I think Ricochet is a fantastic wrestler and I like him a lot. And I've rolled with him a lot through the years and I know a lot of things about him and he's a cool dude. So there's it's not his fault. It's amazing that they put a championship on him and I wish him all the best success in the world. And really from here on out, I think unfortunately for them, anytime somebody mentions that title, there's definitely a amount of people that are going to say, oh, that's that NWA title. Or like, remember that deal when Bryan Idol said this, even if they don't remember my name, when that guy said this and this. So it's constantly going to be in the same sentence with the NWA title forever. So, I mean, kind of a dumb move on their part at the end of the day, but it is what it is. I mean, I can also say this: in no shape, form, or universe did Billy Corgan ever say to Tony Khan, "Yeah, take that title and make it like that." He definitely did. I assure you, his stance is very similar to mine, and he'll speak for himself one day. But he also, he's Billy Corgan, and pro wrestling is really cool. But I would say Billy Corgan and the Smashing Pumpkins are a very large industry in their own. So he's busy with Billy Corgan things, and that's cool. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, what are you gonna do? There's nothing else. It's done. It's out there. And like I said, I think the funny part for them where they have egg on their face is every time that title gets mentioned, you're gonna think about me complaining about the title, whether you know my name or not. So, and you're gonna think about NWA, which that's a win. So, oh well.
Yeah, you say that, and yeah, I've seen that out there of people sharing about you and, oh, look at him. He's
yeah. Speaking of that, go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
It's look at Bryan Idol. Yeah, like you said, he's crying. No, you're defending your company. You're defending the legacy of this belt. And yes, they got their own, but when you're trying to rip it off, just
lame,
like you
dude.
said,
it's totally
if you
lame.
did it with another championship belt, I mean, people will still recognize. Because when I shared about it at first, I was excited to see it because it looked clean. Yes, right. It looked, and it looked like your title, the TV television championship, and everyone in the comments, hey, the rip off of NWA, and it's just
all of a sudden, yeah, all of a sudden,
had a few people praising it and complimenting it, but it was just NWA on the line. So I started looking into it, and then I seen about the Shockwave deal. Because a while back, Tony Khan mentioned about AEW Shockwave, but never came about. Turns out y'all have NWA Shockwave, which actually saw the shirt. Looks pretty cool.
I can't. Yeah, I wore it. And we had the show. I can't really get into all that because then there's legal stuff and whatever.
Oh yeah.
I don't. What I said originally is what stands, and that was all the truth. One thing I want to say though, man, and I mean this is kind of on topic but off topic, but like, dude, the level of toxicity on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it is so ludicrous. And
It is.
I just want to take a second to address, every time one of these guys wanted to win an argument that they could not win with me, it all goes back to the most ridiculous, absolutely fake, made-up story of all time, where I allegedly sexually assault somebody. And I want to say this as clear as I can. There was no person. It's not a he said, she said. There's no person. It's a fictional story of a fictional character. It doesn't exist. In fact, it was a male failed wrestler pretending to be a female victim in the story because he was jealous and mad at me and blamed me for his career going nowhere. And I know exactly who it is. And I'm not going to sit here and I named him already. He put an unhinged promo on me on Twitter. And I'm saying like it's just lame and it's corny. And like I want to say it doesn't make me mad when people say it. It's just a douchebag thing. It's like, dude, like, there's another video, and maybe I'm giving away information, whatever. There's another video of where I'm actually in an argument with a girl. And then the part that makes me laugh about that is I'm the one videotaping it in the argument. And what happened was somebody stole property of mine. And I went there to get it back, and they said they didn't have it. Lo and behold, they sold it. Lo and behold, they got arrested too. Again, people try to like take these made up stories and or a personal moment because that girl tried to extort me and embarrass me and tried to put it on tape. But I was like, that's why I recorded it in the first place. Because what I didn't want to do was go to confront somebody who stole from me and they say, oh, he attacked me. He's this big wrestler. He hit me. I was like, no, I got the whole thing on tape, start to finish on my own phone because I didn't want to avoid that. I didn't want to have that. I wanted to avoid it. And so then seeing that and then her promoting it and trying, and that was years ago, she tried that. And, a normal everyday person sees right through that. But when like loser idiots on Twitter want to try to make me look bad, and they're like, oh, you see. And I think it's really lame and it really discredits people in those real situations. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the first to not deny, dude, if you steal something from me, I will curse you out and with a smile. It doesn't matter. Like I'm in the right. And I asked for my stuff back. She didn't give it back. And we got into a long argument. So every time I see that video pop up, I kind of chuckle. And like then they try to bring other elements into it. And it's like, bro, if you knew the whole story and the personal information, I'm a very nice guy. And there's a lot of things that I didn't put out there that I easily could have to hurt that other person. And I would never do that because it's just not me. But regardless, I think those things are very lame. So I just like taking the 5 minutes I did right there to address it. And you're probably the first place I ever talked about it in that much detail. And I'm happy to do it though, because I just hope some of these haters watch it and they realize like it really has no effect on me. And you can send that to the boss 50 million times. Everyone knows the real story. It's just so lame. And like I said, my favorite part of the fake story was, that like I just imagine the scenario of some horrible sexual assault taking place and the person gets out of the car and they call an Uber, not the police, not someone to come help. They just call an Uber, casually waiting around a graveyard for an Uber to come get them. Like if that's not the most second grade piece of writing I've ever heard in my life, I don't know what else. So I just think it's embarrassing and hilarious when like stupid people on Twitter are like, okay, abuser. Like I'm like, nah, dude, nobody did that. Nobody did that. And furthermore, one of the dudes saying it is a dude who hit his girlfriend. So I'm like, wow, you have text messages saying you're sorry that you hit her. And you're calling me an abuser. But that's the world of Twitter. That's the world we live in. So, I mean, some people would say don't acknowledge it, but I acknowledge it. And I personally, I think it's also very weird and lame, the wrestling mindset of like people on Twitter, like when they take a shot at you or say something, they're like, oh, just don't say anything back. Like, why? That's what the whole app is for. So like if somebody wants to say talk some shit to me, I'll talk some shit to you. I don't care. It's no skin off my back. What's the next level? Like beating me in the street to fight me? Okay, like you know what I'm saying? Like we're not gonna do that, are we? Because if we are, like this guy right here is still in that game. You know what I mean? Like I won't say no, but I'm saying like I had a couple people DM me. They're like, I was like, bro, I like they're saying all this stuff, and they're like, yeah. Well, if you ever come to Denver, Colorado, I'm like, now I gotta go find you in Denver, Colorado. I'm like, you come find me. You let me. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to be a tough guy, but it's like, what am I supposed to do? Like live in fear? I'm like, you want to beat me up? Like, I'm not exactly a small guy. I'm not going to cry about it. If somebody says they want to punch me in the face, I'm like, all right, come try it. See what happens. That stands for anybody. Uh, it's just silly. And like my point is just like very silly. And I think it's a weird world we live in where you get to interact with people that you're watching on TV or you like or admire, and they're artists or performing artists or whatever they are, presidents, congressmen, and the decorum is totally out the window. You could just say anything you want to say to them and take a cheap shot and be like, "Oh, they're not going to say anything back because if they do, it's unprofessional." It's fucking lame, dude. You know. So I don't live by those rules, and maybe it'll get me in trouble, maybe it won't, but I really don't care. So I'm like, I will never let anybody. I don't let people bully me, and I don't think anybody's ever going to find an instance where I did it to somebody first. I don't do that shit. And if I do, I'm not doing it and running away. I'm doing it because I'm standing there and I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell you how I feel. Now you tell me back. I'm not going to end the argument. We're going to have the argument. That's the whole point. So just weird and lame. I don't know.
Yeah. on Twitter, man, X, it's I'll come to defense on some things on like
No,
wrestling.
I appreciate the fans that see things down the middle and have a brain, but the funny part is there's many that do see it down the middle, but they won't admit it, and that's even funnier. It's that's the old cognitive dissonance, and it is what it is, man. But you got any other questions here, man? I want to keep this moving.
Oh yeah. So yeah, just on that of Billy Corgan, I had what's it like working for him? I've seen him. We see him. I think he's great for bringing back NWA and of course the territory aspect.
And very selflessly has very little to gain by doing it other than the love of what he's doing. And
I love that.
Billy Corgan doesn't need to make $1 in wrestling, that's for sure. And he doesn't need the attention, and he doesn't need the anything that goes with it. So what he's doing is just like seeing something that he loves and trying to make it thrive. And Billy's a very, very great friend of mine, and I'm forever grateful to be a part of this with him. And I wouldn't go to bat for anybody like I do for him. And I'm proud to say that. I'm proud of everything that he does, and I'll always have his back. And I'm saying that's not a full of shit statement, because you're talking to a guy who got fired from the NWA once, and I'm still here. And you know what I mean? I came back, and never once did I ever say a bad thing about Billy, because I ain't got nothing bad to say, dude. He's great. And he's level 10 work ethic. And I mean, the man is turning rock concerts into operas. He's a one of a kind individual. It's just there's nobody in comparison, honestly. He's a one in a gazillion. Even rock stars they're all one in a gazillion. He is the one of the one. And I saw that with my own eyes when some of the biggest artists in the world, we were all together at the Black Sabbath, the Final Fact the Beginning concert. And I saw bands like Metallica, Fool, all these guys, and the respect level for Billy is through the roof. He is like the Pied Piper of it all. And in that moment, second maybe only to Ozzy, and which is an amazing thing in itself. And it's just wild to think like, wow, dude, all these people love Billy and regard him as like one of one. And it's really special, you know what I mean? And it wasn't like that for all the bands. They weren't all just kissing each other's asses. I'm saying I saw who went up to who and who talked. I was there, and I'm saying everyone had this thing. Billy is just up on this thing in the world of rock, and that is a one in a gazillion accomplishment in itself. You know what I mean? So it's amazing working for him and with him and being in his vicinity and all that. It's there's nobody else in wrestling running a company that has that level. You know what I mean? Tony Khan is Tony Khan because he runs AEW. After he steps out of AEW, he's just Tony Khan. Billy Corgan is a musical icon and a once in a lifetime artist, and he'll be that whether the NWA exists or not. So he's an amazing person.
Yeah, that's true. Billy Corgan is cool, and I'm glad he did. He's invested into NWA. I'm glad that he's
with his whole being is invested, with every fiber of his being.
Yes, and I love it. And hopefully one day I can have him here on the show as well.
You never know. It'd be probably a better chance of him sitting next to me. If this was next week, if this was next Thursday, you might have had him sitting right next to me. Probably peek his head in like that for you. But yeah, man. It's again, dude. That's the thing. That's as far as the fans, anybody watching, I would say, man, just support the NWA. Take a look, dude. It's a lot better than people give it credit for. And and the coolest thing about it is that's Billy's vision, and he doesn't bend it for anybody. He doesn't listen to to criticism or chatter or whatever BS. Like he just does what he wants, and he's like, "Listen, we're going to do it this way, and this is the way we've done it, and it's worked, and we keep moving, keep ascending, and we are, and it's what we do." So it's
Yeah, I
amazing.
mean, why change it? You got people watching at home. I see the
Exactly,
fans in
bro.
the seats. I mean, the people love it,
Yep.
and those that are hating on it, they're just haters. They're just those who trolling, who just love to bash anything that they can.
Right.
And I get them as well, especially when I stand up for wrestling companies I like or wrestlers that I
I
like,
bet.
or
I bet. Yeah, I mean,
because
well,
this,
it's a discourse or a debate is one thing. It's when the ultimate, like I said, like when the cancels and the slurs and the crazy, off the rocker kind of shit
yeah,
starts coming into the conversation. That's like, what are we doing here, man? It's stupid, and it's funny. Like I like it when wrestlers argue with wrestlers on Twitter. I think it's funny.
oh,
That's
it's
what you
fun.
should be doing. I'm saying, but it generates interest, and I'm saying like that's cool. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, and there's so much more I could go on that, but I'll just talk to girl. But like, it's all a good time. But you got anything else? We're getting close to like a 30-minute mark here, and
Yes, I got one. Well, I get two. One can,
good.
if you could give anyone out there who's aspiring to be a wrestler any advice, what would you give?
Once you do it, don't stop. It's very hard. It's a long road. You better understand it's a marathon, not a sprint. And that's all I can tell you is just keep going. If you really want to do it, keep going. It'll happen. If you don't, it won't. Wrestling, you can be all shapes and sizes. The one thing that separates the pros from the Joes is they just keep going. No excuses, no quit, no regrets. Just keep going. That's it.
Just keep going. That's awesome. And the last one I got, as far as, I mean, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but the last one is as far as NWA, the
Mhm.
of wrestling for the NWA. What makes it a special place to work at compared to any other promotion? I mean, you can go anywhere, you can sign anywhere you want, but you're going
Uh,
this
well,
NWA going back for
let's keep it.
NWA.
Let's keep it fair. Let's keep it fair. No wrestler can pretty much sign anywhere they want. Uh,
True.
I will tell a story and let's tie it in. This is how fair I am. There's only one wrestler I've ever seen get offered a contract on site ever, and it was Ricochet. I watched Ricochet get a WWE offer on a casual first time meeting. And he was, and it was amazing. And he turned it down to his credit. And he was like, I have another company that I have to finish a deal with, and I'm going to stay with them. I'm not going to name names, but I will name Ricochet's name. But and that's why I think he's a deserving champion in general. Uh, and see, like I said, I can see things from both sides, and that was totally awesome. But most wrestlers can't just, fans make that mistake all the time. Like, have you ever thought about going to WWE? And it's like, yeah, I thought about it. When I was in my broken car, starving to death, eating peanuts. Yeah, I thought about going to WWE. The thing is, they really didn't want me. So,
Oh, okay.
uh, I mean, it's a lot. I'm not saying me personally. I'm just saying in general. That's a lot of wrestlers. Uh, you know, it doesn't work that easily, man. So what it says when you get to a company is that they believe in you and that they think you're of value to add to their machine to make it keep running, better and growing. And so I think no matter what company you're in, that's a tremendous honor. And if you lose sight of that, you're losing sight of what actually makes you a valuable wrestler as opposed to the umpteen million other wrestlers that are on the planet. Because there's guys that work in grocery stores and guys that work in construction and guys that work in the sewer. There's a million of those dudes. They're wrestlers. But like, what makes somebody of this is my job wrestler and all this is that, oh, thank you so much, sweetheart. What makes you so much, that thing is that, you have someone that believes in you and you're living up to that standard and you're doing the things that it takes. So again, if you lose sight of that and it doesn't mean anything to you and you're not all in it to win it for your company and you're not all in it to win it, for your daily bread as they speak, as they say it, that's I mean, that's if you're screwed if you don't do that. So I'm saying, so it means the world to be at NWA, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else because they believe in me, and I get to be who I am every day because of it. So it means the world to me. And if you said Billy in particular, and I mean, I could just say he has given me a voice that no one else has. So that is something I am eternally grateful for. So I would never choose anywhere else, and that's the truth. And it's not a money issue, and it's not a whatever. Uh, at the end of the day, I hope I never work anywhere else. I don't care. I'm great. I'm great right here. And I might be saying that if I was in another company. You know what I'm saying? For all I know, if AEW hired me back when I went there in 2019, uh, I would be saying that about them today. But I'm saying they didn't, and they didn't necessarily believe in me, maybe, or whatever. So it's just the reality of wrestling, of what it is. You go where somebody believes in you, and then once you're there, you uphold that, and you fulfill those beliefs, and you fulfill your destiny, so to speak, with a company. And like I said, if you're not doing it, if you're doing it for any other reason, or you're not doing it that way, you're shit out of luck. It ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I love what Eddie Kingston said on one podcast a few weeks ago, that leave the tribalism to the wrestlers. They go to bat for the companies. The fans, just be a wrestling fan, because you're.
I mean, I don't know how you couldn't be.
know,
It's so lame to
yeah,
limit yourself. Like, I get it, and some are better than. Listen, man, when I was growing up, WWF was way better production than the AWA. And when I watched the two, I would be like, I couldn't even mentally follow what was happening sometimes. It was a little too adult in AWA, and it was a little too messy. Couldn't even follow it. So WWF appealed to me more, and whatever. But I certainly didn't hate anybody because they were there, and I wouldn't have been
right.
online talking about it. I just wouldn't have really watched it, or I'd have been like, that guy's not as good. This guy sucks. And like that part's cool. The this guy sucks versus that guy sucks thing is totally cool. That should be happening. But yeah, when you just outright hate something because it comes from somewhere else, well, if you did that in any other aspect of life, that's kind of a problem, right? That's how racism starts. That's how wars start.
Yep.
So it's not really a good practice, even in the world of wrestling.
Yeah, I'm just a fan. I love it all. I watch any kind of wrestling I can get, from WWE, AEW, NWA, TNA.
Appreciate
That's
it.
just me. So I love it. I can't wait for the next one. I can't wait to
Right,
attend
man.
the show.
Come on
Y'all come to
down.
my area.
Where you live?
I live in near the Dallas, Texas area.
Forney, Texas, bro. You got to see us. We'll be there.
Yeah.
At this point, probably in March or April, but we do all the time at the OC in Forney, Texas. That's
I will
40 minutes from Dallas, bro.
I will keep
Great
watching.
little building. Great little building.
Yeah, I think I see that on the website thing. So I'm keeping
Yep.
watch, because when it comes.
And if you
we'll
want to
take
come
off.
to TSW, man, TSW in the meantime runs out of there, and that's NWA Texas, basically.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So we're there we're next January 10th, I believe. I don't know
January
the date
10th.
offhand. See, it's on the website, man. Go look in the territory section.
Yep, I'll
Hey,
go
listen,
check that out.
I don't want to cut you off, but I do got to run here, man. I got a group of people waiting on me here.
All right, real quick, just let them know where they can follow you and catch you here.
All
Anywhere.
social medias are at the THE Bryan Idol, BRYANIDOL, NationalWrestlingAlliance.com or BryanIdol.com.
All right, Bryan, I appreciate your time. You have fun.
Hey, thank you so much, man. Take it easy, bro.
Thank you for everything. Have a
Take
good
it
one,
easy.
man.
You too, buddy.
All right, y'all. You heard it. Bryan Idol. And that was my first ever wrestler interview. He is the inaugural on the Aaron Loves Wrestling podcast. I love it. I appreciate him giving me his time and sharing what he can. NWA Powerrr. If you don't watch it, again, it's on the Roku channel. Free. It's free. You can go and watch the library and go catch up on the past wrestling shows that they've had. They got great talent over there. Bryan Idol's one of them. One of my other favorites is Billy, Silas Mason, Mike Mundo. There's Talia Markov. She's now the new, or Markova, my apologies. She is now the new NWA Women's World Champion. Tiffany Knives. You got the Page sisters, Kenzie and Kylie. You got a whole list of wrestlers on there to go watch. The Pope is now on there. Yep. Anybody remember the Pope back in the TNA days? He is on there. Mims, he's a great guy as well. He's a great wrestler. Enjoyed watching him. He is the former NWA National Heavyweight Champion. So go check out NWA Powerrr. Go check it out on the Roku channel. Tomorrow I plan on doing the review of this past week's episode. So be watching for that. Again, NWA Powerrr. Go check it out. Go on their socials. Go get tickets. They're really affordable. They are family friendly. I mean, I was looking on for $40 for VIP front row seats. $40. mean, heck, you get the whole family VIP front row seats with that. So go check it out. Again, they got great prices. Go to their merch shop. Go get some of the merch. They got some great merchandise. So go check out NWA Powerrr and all the other promotions you got. Let me go list off all the other promotions right here real quick. You do have the World League of Wrestling ran by Leland Race. He is related to the Harley Race, the legendary Harley Race. You got Dog Pound Wrestling, NWA New Mexico, NWA Chicago, ran by Bryan Idol. You got NWA Crossfire, ran by Kenzie Page, or their family, anyhow. Yeah, Exodus Pro Wrestling, ran by EC3, NWA Southeast. They got all these different promotions in all these areas. I plan on going to the Texas one. I plan on going to the NWA Texas. So especially that one January. That's going to be fun. Go check them out. Go on their website. Go see what other events they got coming up. Go check them out on the Roku channel. You can look at some of their stuff on YouTube, as he said, but definitely go on the Roku channel and check out NWA Powerrr. Well, that was it. I appreciate everybody watching. I'm going to go and check out the rest of AEW. So appreciate Bryan Idol and his time. Appreciate everybody who came in and watched and in the chats. Again, just love professional wrestling. Leave the tribalism and all that to the wrestlers. They go to bat for the companies, rightfully so. They're employed there. So going to bat for the companies, but we're fans. So let's enjoy professional wrestling, whether it's WWE, AEW, NWA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, whatever it is. Check out professional wrestling and just be a fan, love it, and enjoy it. Have fun with it. If you got criticisms about it, that's fine, but don't hate on it. Don't trash it. And don't troll anyone. And respect these wrestlers. They're putting their bodies on the line for entertainment. Remember that. They're putting their bodies on the line for entertainment. I trained in the ring. It ain't forgiven laying on that mat several times. Trust me, I know from experience. But again, just be a wrestling fan. Love professional wrestling, y'all. I'm A.A. Ron, Dr. Love, also known as the American Cowboy. I'm out here. Just remember, love professional wrestling, everybody.
When the lights fade, the world holds its breath. The drums hit, the crowd erupts. From WWE to AEW, from NWA to TNA, all the way to New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is where legends rise. Aaron loves wrestling. Let's begin. Let the storm hit, feel the world shift. AEW, we talking big lift. To the NWA roots, Powerrr in the booth. New Japan warriors fighting for the truth. Crowds roar loud when the spotlight shines. Aaron loves wrestling, we live for the grind. Step into the ring, hear the heartbeat thump. Pyro in the sky, let the bass line jump. From the classic days where the legends were made to the modern era warriors never afraid. We break down drama, every shock, every twist, every dream match moment that you couldn't resist. From Tokyo Dome nights to the big raw stage, from Powerrr Studios to AEW Rage. This is passion, combat, the soul of the show. We bring the breakdown, the hype and the glow. Every slam, every dive, every storyline ride. I'll let you where the love never dies. Champions with the gold hanging right on their neck. The moments that shock you, the promos that hit, those fight forever chants. Yeah, we feel all of it. We salute every brand, every style in the ring. Strong style, lucha libre man, wrestling is king. From old school brawls to the high risk flights, we celebrate the craft and the love of the fight. Podcast vibes with that pay-per-view feel. Every episode hits like a main event deal. Aaron on the mic, yeah, he keeping it real. Breaking wrestling down with that champion feel. Yeah, breaking wrestling down with that champion appeal. When the
when destiny calls.